two friends. Another morning, but this time it's solo. Sit back, relax, and laugh at the mindless conversations Josh and Dakota have. Welcome to a Mindless Morning Show solo episode.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mindless Morning Show. Here as another solo episode for you guys. Here with my co-host Dakota, as always.
What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good morning so far.
He has only one earphone on because he's listening for the ghost that's been haunting him 5 minutes prior to recording.
Dude, you're not there. It's on.
So we hope everyone's having a great week and hope you guys have been checking out our Mindless Mashup. You can find it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
The last one was a doozy for me. That was rough.
I feel like we're going to both get better from this process.
I don't think I'm going to get better. I feel like that's literally how I've drawn my entire life. Like,
how often do you draw? I used to draw just like you.
Even when I used to draw like a good amount, when there was stuff I had to do in school and shit like that, dude, I could bust out some stick figures, man.
Okay.
Come at me any day with some stick figures.
Sure.
They'll probably look the same.
Yours
will probably still end up looking better because you'll computerize them into fucking cool little guys that move and fight, and my guys will just be.
Have you ever seen those pictures of like the memes, but like realistic faces? They're like terrifying looking. Like I would that with like the stick figure.
Dude, yeah, see, I would lose. I don't know. I anticipated what happened to happen. Like that was my feeling for it. And I don't know. I still stand by it. I think it's good. It's what my vision looked like, and it shows that nobody else should be afraid to draw and put their content in, so that the world can see what they can do.
And I think practice makes perfect. There's no bad art. I mean, dude, there's so many things you can find in a painting. Like there was I have a painting my sister made me. It's Bob Marley. It's like a silhouette behind a red, yellow, and green background.
Dude, that's what's up.
And in that painting, because it's like a blotchy silhouette kind of thing. Like I would have to, I guess, show a picture to really kind of describe it well.
No, I think you're doing great, actually.
But within this picture, dude, I see like so many different things. Like there's like some like wizard with like a crazy cape on. There is like an alligator in this picture. Like there's so many different things that I see within the blotches, not just Bob Marley. So
see, but that's what like my creativeness is in, like writing and coming up with like random stories and shit like that. That's what I've always been good at. And then when I try to draw it, it turns out to be like a toddler. And I'm proud of it either way. So, draw a picture and then I can write a story for it. How about that?
Dude, you fucking rock those toddler drawings so good.
What can I say? Gold medal for me.
I imagine you as a kid in kindergarten stealing all the crayons, especially if they had the built-in sharpeners on the boxes.
Dude, I don't know if I ever cared enough to get it. I was the one that if I was lucky enough to get it, I was like stoked to be like, oh, whatever. And then it would be there. And it's like, whoa, check it out.
Yeah, dude. No, that's a highlight of life. Even though as kids at that age, dude, we didn't even know why the fuck we were sharpening our crayons. We're not staying in the lines that cleanly.
I mean, with a sharp crayon, I remember when I was coloring, dude, and I discovered the technique of like coloring the outline of whatever you were coloring like darker and then shading the inside lighter to make it like pop and look cool. I thought it was like so cool. And it was still pretty shitty.
Yeah, no, I was never really good back then. So, I mean, like I said, I literally drew just like you. And the only reason I've recently gotten better with art and probably not drawing by hand like you did, because I'm doing it by computer. And I kind of had to for game developing for some stuff. So I kind of had to force myself to learn and watch a bunch of videos and practice a bunch. So that's what makes That's what makes things happen.
Yeah, see, I don't know how to do that, and I don't have the time or need or want to figure it out at this point. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do it how I do it, and it's gonna turn out the way it turns out. And I thought it looked good. Jordan thought it looked good, and then
I thought it looked good.
And then yours popped up next to it, and I was like, yep, all right. Good stuff. So I need more people out there to send in their drawings so that they can at least compete with Josh's shit.
Yeah, please. I do not want it to shine. There's nothing.
I don't want it to shine, he says. This guy. Please don't let it shine.
Yeah. So anyway, definitely be sure to participate in our Mindless mashup, and especially look forward to Friday. We have a fantastic episode coming up with a flight attendant and a sports PR. What?
I was gonna say you went too fast. I was gonna be like, "What's Friday?" It's cool, man. Just go ahead.
Sorry. So yes. Our episode on Friday with our guest, flight attendant and a sports PR consultant, Keon Johnson. He is a very, very awesome individual that we got to meet and speak to, and I mean, just super humble. He seemed like he was just a real nice guy.
Dude, it was awesome. As a fan of sports, basketball, football, especially, like it was, I was like fan girling and fan just being a geek. Sometimes I had to control myself, but he was super chill, real cool. Answered all of my my questions, and I think we made him laugh a couple of times too. So.
Yeah, you definitely shined that episode because I am not the biggest
dude.
Sports,
man, if you guys want to hear some funny stuff and to hear Josh talking about some basketball stuff, you definitely need to watch it on Friday because you'll laugh for sure.
Oh yeah,
it was great. It was great, man. It had us cracking up.
Yeah, you could definitely tell like. Oh yeah, you watch sports, buddy. Okay.
Yeah. Your hockey realm came into it for a little bit, and then we kind of quickly moved out because we're like, moving back to. Dude, he talked about slight spoiler. Terrell Owens, T.O. There was some stories in there that were super cool. I thought it was fucking awesome. So not gonna say much more, but yeah. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. A real cool guy. I hope to have the chance to talk to him some more and pick his brain on a lot of stuff. Just because, it was dope. So
for sure, we're definitely gonna have to get him back. He's a great guy, great family man as well.
Yeah. He had some really funny airline like flying stories as well. Like talking about that stuff is really cool too. So he wasn't just all like the sports stuff. I mean, it was dope for that, but yeah, like the flying shit was super cool too.
And speaking of flying shit,
whoa!
How often have you flown? Or do you fly frequently, or like have you like flown a massive amounts? Have you traveled?
Yeah, I haven't traveled out of the States. Like I've gone to like Hawaii.
You never left the country?
Nah, I've never left the country. I want to like really bad. But considering everything going on right now, it's kind of on hold. Hopefully when Jordan and I tie the knot and we select our honeymoon, it'll be out of the country somewhere is what we're going for. I need to work on getting my passport. But other than that, I mean, I've flown around North America, other than to Mexico, obviously. But like, United States, I've flown a couple times here and there, probably in double digits for sure, because flying back and forth. I mean, once I started dating Jordan, we've gone to Kansas. When I lived in Colorado, we'd fly to Kansas and back, and travel back to California and stuff. So yeah. I mean, I'd say a good amount, but dude, I still hate takeoffs. Like, the landings I'm good with. Like, I don't mind the landings, bro, but takeoff for some reason, dude, they're rough for me. Like, I have to close my eyes, listen to music, and just like pretend that nothing's happening, like a roller coaster maybe, but I don't like freak out or anything. I kind of just like oh, okay, we're good. Yeah. And then like any turbulence in the air, man. If I've ever gone through turbulence, I don't like that shit. That shit was rough. Like,
So I tallied up my flights roughly, rough estimate from what I remember, and I was surprised that I was actually in the double digits, because I'll tell you what, man. And some of these flights consisted of like multiple flights to the destination. So, like there's that layover. So you're getting an extra takeoff, you're getting an extra landing, and like
yep,
that shit just sucks.
I've done a couple of those.
Yeah, no, takeoff and landing, dude, just absolutely terrifying. I mean, honestly, like the landings have never really been anything crazy. Like it's always just like my panic, like, oh God, the landing gear is not going to come out. We're just going to fucking like slide across the tarmac and like go sideways. The wing's going to fly off. Shit's going to explode. Like, I don't know. And then it's just like a few bumps, and it's like, okay, and we are now landed. And it's like, oh, all right, cool. Yeah.
It's a little baby pops up in front of you and looks behind and just shakes his head like, you suck.
Oh, dude, I'm a puss when it comes to flying, bro.
I flew for the first time alone when I was like 16, and I went back to California, and I had to stop in Arizona before going to California. So I left from Denver, and on my flight from Denver to Arizona to Phoenix, I'm in the middle, and there are these two German dudes on both sides of me. They clearly don't know each other. They just happen to sit next to each other or close to each other. And dude, like the entire time they were just going back and forth to each other in German, like nonstop. And I had my headphones on trying to listen to music. And I even like looked at them and I was like, would one of you like to switch seats with me? And they just looked at me and then looked back at each other and just kept talking. And I was like, what the bro, fuck? What? Like, word, cool. Like, so I just got back, and we got into Phoenix, and we were flying around, and the pilot comes on and is like, so we're going to have to delay the flight a little bit. We can't land. It's too hot. And it was too hot for the landing gear to like come out and go across, apparently, dude. I don't even know what it was.
I've never heard of that.
Dude, it was, I don't know, man. It was something about it being too hot. And that's all I remember. So we had to like fly around for a little bit. And we got down. So I was already running late to try to catch my next flight. And my aunt happened to be there to like help me get to the next spot. So I like saw her for a brief moment. She like fucking hauled ass in her little minivan over to my next area, dropped me off, got there, and I was like 10 minutes late. So I had to literally sit in the like airport by myself for like 3 hours until the next flight. And then finally got into California, and it was like 10 p.m. I was so tired, but yeah, it was rough, man. That's like the worst. Well, that's not the worst thing that's happened to me on a flight, but that was one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally feel you on the alone flight, because that shit gets intense. So at least rough for me, because the first time I flew alone is I went to Dominican Republic, and I'm pretty sure, because I went with family, but I'm pretty sure they met me here in Orlando, and then we flew out to Dominican Republic. Okay. And then flying back, though, their flight was, because they're from New York, so their flight was 4 hours prior to mine. And so they're like, oh, just stay at the hotel for a little bit longer, eat, drink some more, and then take a taxi to the airport and then go. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to stay here like on my own. Like I'm in a whole other country. Like I just didn't think of anything I would actually do by myself for 4 fucking hours at a hotel, other than sit at the bar and just drink, probably miss my flight, and forever be stranded there until I got kicked out or something, and then like killed. I don't know. So I was just like, let me just fucking go. So I'm sitting in the airport. They finally leave, and I have 4 hours, and this is like the most like hodunk fucking airport. There ain't dick there. There's maybe like one little bistro and nice. One little shop in this entire thing, because it's like a small plane that comes and gets you. And Bro, oh my God. So I sat there for like 4 hours just like laying on the chairs, like bored out of my fucking mind.
I feel that. I slept most of the time when I was just chilling. I like set an alarm, make sure I like knew where I was and what was going on. But dude, you were talking about that, and I wish I can get Andy. We're gonna have to get him back on the show, my buddy from Death Shifter, man, because he's got a funny ass story when he was flying back from Germany when we were in high school. He went to Germany to visit a buddy he had out there for his like 16th or 17th or 18th birthday. I can't remember. I think it was like 16th or 17th, but he went out there for his birthday, man. And his like flight back, he stopped in Amsterdam and had like a long ass layover and met some random fucking like Italian dude and just had this wild fucking night, man. It's so funny. Like I want to tell you about it, but I'm like, I want to save it to have him come on and like talk about it, because that shit is, oh man, it's. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, it's one of those ones where you just have to like say fuck it and just go with what's happening and be like, this is a one-time thing that I'm never probably ever gonna have the chance to do again. Like,
dude, for sure. No, that would be awesome. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, Andy's the one that owned the comic book store, right?
He did, yes, he did own the comic book store. That'd be
totally nerd fun for an episode.
He'll probably be down off the message him for sure, and he'll be like, let's get it. So. But yeah, dude, going back to the flights real quick, man, the worst thing that I've ever happened, man, I flew Spirit Airlines, which, man, everything was fine. Like, and then we got to where we needed to go and landed, and they like pressurized the cabin wrong. And I've never had that like sharp, like pain in my eardrums before. Like, is that bad? Dude, they pressurized it terrible. So like we landed, I felt so bad for this little kid that was sitting in front of us. He was like bawling his eyes out like bloody murder. Like everybody felt it, dude. And it hurt like so bad. And now every time I fly, especially like when we flew from Denver to Kansas, every single time I have to like, I got these special like earphone pressurization thingamajigs that like helped with the balance of it. And if I didn't wear those, it'd fuck my shit up every time we came to Kansas. But when we went back to Denver, it was fine. So, but yeah, dude, ever since that flight, it messed my shit up. It sucked.
I always bring gum because I chew takeoff and landing.
Everybody was chewing gum. We all were chewing gum. It didn't matter. They pressurized that shit, and then it fucking hurt, man. Oh, it was brutal.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. And yeah, actually, you had asked earlier if about turbulence. Thank God, I've never fucking experienced any turbulence. I hear horror stories, like people dropping like 400 feet.
Yeah, it wasn't anything nuts like that, dude. I would have lost my shit if it was like that. Ours was just like kind of bumping up and down, like, dude, it wasn't like super long. It was probably like a good minute and a half of it. And I'm one of those people, I like looking out the window and then shit like that happens and I'm like, beep,
yeah, no. So I mean, I'm always interested to look out the window. Like, dude, like takeoff and landing. I love the window. I'm still terrified. Don't get me wrong. I just want to see like my death coming. I don't want to just sit in this cabin and look at a back of a bunch of people's heads out.
Dude, I'm like, I feel like instead of like life flashing before my eyes, like all of those fucking horror movies flash before my eyes, but instead of freaking out, my mind's thinking of like going like sifting through it to be like, which of those fuckers survived? What did they do? Like, how am I going to get out of this situation? Like assessing, like, all right, there's that person, there's the exit, what's over there? The parachute. Like, yeah, dude, like seatbelt, there's the strap, so if that blows off, I can hold it here on tight and figure out what I'm gonna like. Dude, yeah, you got to assess those situations, everybody, just in case. All right, worst case scenario is not bad to just have in mind.
Yeah, and it's pretty nice because, you know, those flight attendants, as mentioned in the episode, they look for the able-bodied people.
Yeah.
And they put them in the that middle area where the exit to the wings are at.
Dude, I was going to... We didn't get to it.
I
was going to ask him if there was one of the, like, the airplane police officer people, like, on every flight, like, if that was an actual thing. What are they called? I feel real dumb right now that I can't think of what they're called.
Airplane police.
Airplane police people.
Hi, we're here from Delta. Are you dead? Or you're security? Are you talking about like the undercover military for like
the like undercover like officer flight person that like this like rumored or a myth or whatever that like there's always one on the plane, like every plane or some shit?
yeah, ever since 9/11 there's some
Dude, I thought even before 9/11, man, I thought it was just like always a thing. I was gonna ask him about it, but I never got the chance to. So
not sure.
if anybody knows,
I mean, I can't actually like say for sure, but I'm almost positive they're on at least
undercover
every flight.
airline police officer.
Maybe depending the airline.
They have a name, and I feel it's really stupid that I can't think of it. So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move along.
Airway security.
So yeah, going back to sports. So I know you're not like a huge sports fan other than hockey. So like, did you play any sports growing up, Josh?
So I mean, like, I appreciate all sports for what they are, and I've played fucking almost all of them at some point in time. Not like professionally or anything.
Did you start out with soccer or baseball as a kid? Like,
okay, I lied. I never played soccer.
Oh, okay, dude. I was an all-star at soccer, bro, until right around like 12 or 13, and I started to get a little chubby, and then I became a goalie, and I was a boss goalie, bro. I remember I tried out for this club team that my dad took me to, and the coach's son was also trying out for goalie, and I was a way better goalie than this fucking kid, and we were playing a game, and this kid got a fast break on me, and I ran out as a goalkeeper, so like it was a one-on-one. He got past all the defense. And I ran out as the goalkeeper and charged him like you're supposed to do. And I slide to get the ball and got it and like took the kid out. And the coach came running over and blew the whistle. And he's like, that's a penalty kick. And like my dad's on the sideline too. Everybody's just like, what? And he's like, that's a penalty kick on the goalie. You can't do that. And everybody's just like, that's okay, word, whatever, dude. And like the kid came back and kicked the penalty and I still blocked it. And we ended up like beating, his kid was in the goal on the other side. We beat him like 3-1 or some shit. And the next day they didn't call me back because apparently his kid beat me out. it's like we're all right, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, my soccer career ended because I started playing.
Your career.
Yeah, dude, my career. I like played soccer like fooling around, but like as far as playing on like actual like teams or club teams, because I played a little bit of club soccer, but it came to a halt when I realized I liked basketball and football way better. So I still appreciate soccer and enjoy watching it and playing it here and there. But I fell in love with basketball, man. Basketball was my sport, like, and I was good at it. So I wish I was taller, as everybody says. But
my best friend that I grew up with, basically from like a baby on, him and I were both like over 6 feet. So
yeah, I wish I had your height, man. I could have been at least playing like college ball.
Everyone calls me a waste of height who likes basketball. Because like my buddy, he was really good at basketball. Like he was very good, and his dad was a coach. Mm-hmm. And me, I tried out, and like I had fun. I would go to their practices and things like that. And like
basketball is hard, man. Like basketball's a tough sport.
I was pretty decent at keeping up. Like, I mean, of course, there was some of those kids that just like totally broke my fucking ankles that have like played basketball hardcore. Like I just played it casually, shits and giggles. These guys are like playing it every fucking day.
No, I was one of those kids that was like that, where they'll be like, all right, we're just gonna go out and play for fun. And you're like, all right, cool, play for fun. And then halfway through, you're like, fuck this. Like, we can't lose this game. I'm not gonna lose.
I would definitely try hard when I was playing against the people that like were good, because like I just wanted to see how I could compete with them. And like I wasn't bad, like wasn't great. Definitely wasn't good.
I was always a shooter. I was always a shooter and a good passer. My handles were okay. I was like medium speed at handling the ball, so I wasn't a good point guard, at least when I was in high school. Afterwards, when I played up like pickup ball and stuff, I ended up being point guard because it's different. But I was always a good shooter, good passer. I could do some post moves and stuff, but I was always skilled enough to play, man. I've talked to plenty of people. I've heard from even like actual NFL players, like, and athlete stuff, that they're like, Yeah, man, I tried playing basketball, but basketball is one of those sports that if you can't get the skill down, like you can't play. He's like, so that's why I wouldn't play football. he's
Dude,
like, he's like asking a football player, man. They'll tell you they tried playing basketball first, but they ended up a football player because they couldn't dribble the ball or shoot or like, dude, you got to put all of that shit together, and you got to play both sides of the ball, offense and defense. It's tough.
yeah, no, I'll tell you the one thing though that really turned me off from playing basketball, because I cannot tell you the minimal amount of times like I've played basketball throughout my life, and the amount of fucking times I have had my fingers like shoved inwards from the ball. It's like the worst.
Fingers hurt so bad. Like it sounds so small, but dude, oh my god, if you've never had your fingers stubbed from a basketball, that shit fucking hurts. And
it's like
dude,
you smash your joints for a moment and it fucking hurts for
I'm
real.
sure that I think track players get it a lot too, maybe even soccer players and football players, maybe even all athletes, but basketball players, especially running along that gym floor, man, shin splints. Oh my god, dude! I got shin splints so much with my buddy every single time because our coach always make us run, dude. And if you weren't having enough potassium and water in that intake, dude, like, shin splints hurt so bad.
No, I had extremely great leg muscles and shins because of me being a skater, and I would skate like home and to school like every day and just like all day. So I was constantly skating.
Dude, all these
something.
All these stories are just bringing back all of the like memories of my teammates puking from running too much because our coach would just make us run. Like, just all of these stories coming back, man. Oh god,
I have never run so much I've thrown up, so I'm thankful for that.
I've been there.
I definitely felt like I was going to a few times, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one day that man, I think it was like after winter break, and it was always our coach was just a dick, and he was like, "We're gonna run so much until you puke." Like it was his goal. Like we wouldn't end practice unless like most of the people puked. And
wow,
there was a couple of times. There was one time that one of the kids, we were all like in the middle of a huddle, and he was like, we're all just chilling, and the coach is talking, and he's just like, "Nope." And just pukes all over the floor in the middle of the huddle, and everybody was just like, "You good?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's finish over here." And like literally everybody walks over to the side, gets back in the huddle and finishes up, and then left, and he cleaned it up. But yeah, dude, there was some crazy shit that happened. We had some of the locker room stuff that happened too. Like not like that. I mean, obviously there was some of the weird. The football players did the weird stuff, man. They were the weird ones, bro. They were the weird ones, man. We weren't even in the locker room that much as basketball players. Like we were barely in there. Like anytime we were in there, it was just covered with football players for the most part. And like,
you ever been in the locker room with some wrestlers?
Oh yeah, dude. Wrestlers and football players
they're fucking weird.
Yeah, they get some weird shit in the locker rooms, man. Like we were in there like done with the practice, waiting to get picked up, and some of the football players were still in there, and they're like shoving this one kid into the locker, and his like brother was trying to defend him, and then they ended up getting in a fight, and it was the weirdest thing ever. He was like trying to defend his brother, and then his brother got mad at him, and then like the other kids like got bored because they're like, this is weird, and let him out of the locker, and then they started fighting, and everybody's just like, dude, what the fuck just happened? Like, I guess that's one way to get out of the locker and have to like stop people picking on you.
Did you ever have axe bombs go off?
Yeah,
like where people would shove a knife in the can and throw it. So, oh my god, dude! Like it like takes your ability to breathe. You're like,
dude, I'll give you one of worse, man. The kids, we were freshmen in the sophomore team. There was like 5 players on the team that decided to like fill this jar with like a bunch of different liquids and trash and all kinds of gross shit, and left it in the locker to marinate for like the whole season.
Jungle juice.
yeah. And then one of the freshman kids that pissed him off had a little bit of fun with that at the end of the season, and it was fucking nasty. But yeah, so sports teams, man, you don't have any NBA or NFL teams that you like, right? Like you're not a fan of any that you would pick.
So I mean, when it came down to like teams with NBA, I grew up watching Magic because of my dad. And at one point in time, like long after, when I was about 15, 16, A buddy of mine, he was really into basketball, and he kind of got me into it. And that's when I was watching Oklahoma City. And I didn't necessarily care about the team as a whole. Mm-hmm. It was always just individual players that I liked watching.
Yeah, I feel that.
Within NBA, I never had because I never really had a team I really followed and rooted for and wanted to win. And there was just very I felt like with basketball there was maybe 4 or 5 key players and the rest were some stragglers. So it was kind of dumb for me.
Back in the day, yeah. Nowadays, not anymore. Now there's so many NBA stars that are just good.
That may be. I haven't watched a solid game of basketball probably in well over 10 years.
So Magic and OKC 10 years ago.
Yeah, so don't take my word for it on that, obviously. But football, I definitely have teams I like.
What do you got?
I definitely like the Chicago Bulls.
Oh my God! What did you just say?
I'm sorry, I meant the Chicago Bears. I knew exactly. At least
that is amazing. I definitely have some football teams. Though, you ready for this? My first one. You guys ready? My first NFL team that I love. Chicago Bulls, and let me tell you why.
Because Michael Jordan was the best, bro.
That lineup of Pippen, Rodman, and Jordan, nobody can beat them on that green field.
Yeah, no.
That was gold.
That was funny. Well, you can see the clear mix-up because Bears and Bulls.
Bears.
Yeah. But also, I took a liking to the Broncos, and it wasn't for any player or anything in particular. It was purely just because I was like, you know what? I really like that horse logo.
Oh my God, that makes me hurt so much. I hate the Broncos. I hate them. So I'm from California. I grew up in California until I was about 16 years old. So my dad was a big Raider fan, so I grew up watching the Raiders. So I've always been a Raider fan. And when we moved to Colorado, it was one of the funniest things because everybody's a Bronco fan out there, and I'm a Raider fan. That's they're big rivals. They hate each other. So it was always just a good time out there being a Raider fan. And anytime we would beat the Broncos, it was just good. And anytime they'd beat us, it was well, we suck. So what do you expect? But now we're better. Now we're in Las Vegas and we're getting there again. I think Derek Carr's gonna have a pretty big year. But basketball wise, man, everybody was all about the Lakers, especially where I was, because I was championship run. I loved Shaq. I loved Kobe
when no, this wasn't when LeBron was in Lakers. Okay, this is when Kobe.
No. This is way back, man. So
okay,
this is late 90s, early 2000s. Kobe Shaq duo, Derek Fisher at the point. Get some Robert Horry in there mixed in. Some of that stuff. And everybody was all about the Lakers where I was at, but it was also the same time that all that stuff happened with Kobe in Denver, with the allegations that happened with him with that woman. So I don't know. I remember as a kid, watching the interviews and stuff too, and just kind of being I don't know. I feel like it was pretty shady. I didn't like it. And he was arrogant, rightfully so, as far as him being good at basketball. So I just didn't really like him when I was younger. So I was always a Clippers fan, and the Clippers sucked booty back then. So I was always a Clipper fan from when they were terrible to when they were decent and starting to get better, back to being bad to finally being one of the top teams. So everybody would always call me a bandwagon when I was in different states because they're like, "Oh, the Clippers are good now," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm from there. I've been a Clipper fan my whole life." But that being said about Kobe, man, I love Kobe Bryant now. As I grew up watching him continue to play, and then after he retired and seeing how big of a role model he was, not just to the young boys trying to play, but with his daughters and all of the girls and everything he contributed for the WNBA. And just everything like that, man. He was one of the good ones, and it was super unfortunate, man, when he passed. I've never
he knew. I know this is probably gonna be super controversial. I think he knew when he was gonna go because
Like before he got on the helicopter, or like after as he was on it.
yeah, no, I think he knew for a long time because I mean it was predicted like almost exactly already.
I hope not, because his daughter was on that helicopter with the man, but
Yeah, well, I mean there was also like other I think just
yeah, it's like
family
a
friends
whole like
and their
baseball,
kids.
like a couple of the baseball team or softball team or shit that there are other basketball
It's
players in the
definitely
team.
sad.
It was super
Don't get
sad,
me
man.
wrong.
So
I
that's what
think
I
it
was getting to.
sucks.
Like, there's been plenty of like celebrity deaths that players, people like other than just sports, like actors, actresses, and stuff that I like grew up watching and stuff that I was like bummed out about. But man, like when that happened to Kobe, dude, I have never had like a death like that like impact me. I was like broken, bro. Like I was like a child, like crying, like sobbing. Like I remember calling Jordan, like weeping on the phone, and she was like, "Oh my god, what's wrong?" I was like, "You didn't hear?" Like, dude, it was
Really?
rough, man. Dude, I'm like tearing up right now. Like you look at my eyes are like, listen, I'm like, dude,
It's
that
really
shit.
strange to me. I
Dude,
don't
it's
think
like
I've
it was like
ever.
as like a basketball person, like my life growing up as a kid revolved around basketball. I was a basketball coach for 7, 8 years. So like all of my jobs, I was always finding jobs that would let me coach basketball. So like my life's been revolved around basketball. So it's like as a coach too, you're teaching your players all of these different skills, telling them to watch players and stuff like that. And it's like you're just like the huge impact that one single person had on like I said, not just like sports fans, but like people in general. Like I don't know, it just hit me hard, man. It was a real rough one for me. And like I don't know, I've talked to other people that are the same way too, and I think there's somebody out there like that for everybody, like too, that
Well,
like when it happens, it'll hit you. But that was one for me for sure.
I'm trying to think of like what celebrity. I think the one that really did hit me that I can remember off the top of my head is just Robin Williams
Yeah.
because
See, and that one was
he
rough for
was
me,
Mrs.
but like,
Doubtfire and like
dude,
everything.
that's like saying, but like I love Robin Williams. I saw like all of his fucking movies, loved the shit out of him, and I don't even know if I think I shed a couple tears, but dude, I like it didn't break me like it did for that one. I don't know why.
Nah, it definitely upset me. I've shed like a few tears for a few celebrities, but I've never like bawled, and I don't think I will until Betty White passes. Dude, Betty White is America's grandma. I
I don't
don't
want to
give a
talk about it.
fuck. Like,
I don't want to talk about it. How is
yeah,
she's still going strong, right?
dude, she is, and God bless her, bro. Like, we gotta. I would.
She's 99. Keep it
I
up,
would
Betty. We're
accept.
rooting for you.
I would accept it as a terminal illness.
Dude, we need
Just to
to
go to
we need
make
to
a
reach
wish and
out
get
to
her.
see if we can interview her.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be cool.
Betty
That'd
White,
be cool.
amazing.
We just went from Kobe to Betty White all in one fell swoop.
I mean,
So,
that's why this
but
world's a beautiful place, people.
man, another one out there. Dwayne Wade, if you ever decide to watch the Mindless Morning Show, hit us up. I'd love to chat with you. He's one of my all-time favorite players, man.
I don't know if you remember me. I actually kind of made fun of you while you were at Universal one day and you missed all 3 shots of the Big Shot basketball game that I was currently running that day.
He was never the greatest shooter on the team, but he would hit him in the clutch if he.
It wasn't even his fault.
Right?
I don't even care. It wasn't even his fault. Those games were totally rigged. The rim's bent. So like he's not even shooting at a regulation rim or anything like that. So the odds are against him.
Dude, he's had the odds against it his whole career, man. Like,
well,
Dwayne,
I mean,
Dwayne,
hey man,
Dwayne,
if you remember me, I highly doubt it. I didn't like crazy talk, shit talk you. I just like kind of made fun of you, like, oh man, you didn't make it. All your friends watched you miss.
It's funny.
Come on our show. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That'd be dope.
I had no idea who he was. Not a clue until
you.
2 other employees approached me and they're like, dude, do you know who that was? You just talked to Dwayne Wade. And I was like, I don't even know who that is. They were so disappointed in me, bro. They were so mad I ran
I would
that
have been
game
so
that
mad.
day.
He's literally one of my like all time top 3 favorite players because dude, I remember I was home sick one day and it was his rookie season and I was chilling in my room on my little ass TV and I had the little antennas because that's all we had in there. We didn't have cable in that room. And I was chilling sick and I turned it on, was flipping through the channels and the Miami Heat game was on. And I remember watching him play, and that's like I was like, "Yo, this guy right here, he's gonna be so good." And I followed his whole career, and yeah, I love me some Dwayne Wade, man. D Wade's the shit.
I mean, he seems like cool people.
Yeah, dude, he seems great. He seems.
I have nothing
fantastic.
against anyone. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't necessarily care for LeBron mainly because he took Space Jam and like that new Space Jam sucks, dude.
I didn't finish it, but I mean, teach their own. It is what it is, man. LeBron James has done some really, really good stuff out there, though, too.
Definitely a great athlete. I'll give him.
I mean, besides the athletics, like all the stuff he's done for charity and the school he's opened, and like all the stuff he's given back, man. You can't hold him on Space Jam alone. That's some bullshit.
No, I'm not holding him on Space Jam alone. But also, too, like, dude, man, I don't honestly, like, when it comes to these big celebrities and what they do for charities, that is all pish posh to me because that's bullshit
Some of
from
them,
their managers telling them, hey, do this so you look good. A lot of it's image. Most of them.
But for a guy that's that big of a superstar where he doesn't need to do that and he does it for like his hometown and it's not a big town and it's where he grew up and I don't know, man.
I feel like LeBron is like the top dude in the NBA because that's when people talk NBA, that's whose name comes up. That's like the all-star. That's the guy.
Not anymore. Now there's plenty of others.
Because he kind of screwed up his image for a little bit. But what I'm saying overall is like,
dude, don't come at me. You don't know shit about NBA. You try to come at me right now.
I don't need to know about NBA, dude. I just need to know about what they tweet and the dumb shit they say.
What they tweet and the dumb shit they say. Okay. All right. Moving along.
Because that proves character alone.
It could, in the sense, yeah. Tweets can get taken out of context and social media blows shit way out of fucking proportion.
No,
and they look
the
for
words
the
you
smallest
typed,
things.
That 258 character fucking sentences that you typed.
Yeah, there's some players that have done some. Yeah, I agree. But like other stuff that gets blown out of proportion is just to like try to make people fucking look bad. It's the same thing that
it goes both ways.
In our upcoming episode that Keon was talking about, man, with T.O. Like
it definitely goes both ways for sure. Like I said, there's a flip side to every coin.
Nobody can come close to that fucking notorious like rep other than T.O. Man.
I just hope that
I don't know
these people with money. All this money, stop wasting on dumb shit. God, get smart. You have all the money in the world. Get smart.
All right, so
moving on.
Did you ever go to any live sporting events or ever like going to live sporting events or not for you?
I don't even give a shit what sport it is. I don't give a shit if it's soccer, anything that I don't even know anything about. Going to live events is the best thing because the atmosphere is exploding.
I wasn't sure which way you were going to go. I want to go to a live cricket event because I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
I don't know about that. That and golf, because like golf, you can only go.
Dude, cricket's like
Happy Gilmore's not on field.
I've heard like 7-hour games and shit, but you can have a whole fucking day, just get super drunk and cheer and have no idea what's happening.
They have 7-hour games.
Yeah, dude. There was one that was super long. Let me see.
Stop. Dude, I did not want to watch people paddling their fucking balls around for 7 hours of my life. Like, that's just not happening.
Oh my God, it's worse than I thought. The longest cricket match in history is played between South Africa and England in Durban. And then, oh wow, look at that. Today marks the anniversary of it, actually.
Holy shit.
It was played between, holy shit. The game was 9 days. It took 9 days.
Stop.
How? What?
Yeah.
All right, never mind. I changed my mind on that one.
Yeah. Okay. So
Did they
I
get to
wanna
like take a break and go home, or is it like 9 days straight until you fucking finish? We brought like your little soccer match where you're a little kid, dude. You get the little orange wedges and pack of grapes and a Capri Sun at like halftime to rejuvenate
Right.
to get back out there.
Shit. No, okay. So I retract my statement. I just want to refine it with I would go to just about any sport live because of the atmosphere. Because
Dude.
when you go like, dude, tailgating is like some of the best, and like when people are out
Bro.
getting drunk, just having a good time, like they're friendly, they're happy.
We went to the minor league game out here for baseball, man, and it was fun. It was fun. So much fun. Great atmosphere. Got drunk. Had a blast. Didn't even have to worry about, I don't know, shit. It was dope. It was a good time.
Yeah. So there was, I got a funny story actually. There was a time that I distinctly remember as a kid. Now, mind you, actually, I won't even get to that yet. So, okay, we were at this baseball game. Me and my buddy, we had no interest in it. There's a playground just in the back behind the bleachers area.
Mhm.
So, our parents were in the bleachers. We're in the playground area. The playground has that red dirt.
Yeah, like clay.
Yeah. And dude, I don't know if you've ever gotten that shit in your eyes.
What, it
But it
hurts.
sucked.
Yeah.
So I got it in my eye as a kid, and it, dude, like so much of it, and it was just burning. So my buddy, he like grabbed me by the arm, brought me over to the bleachers, got my dad. My dad came, brought me over to the bathroom, and I'm just like, dude, at this point, I'm thinking I'm gonna go blind because I haven't seen for like the last 2 minutes already. Like I don't even know. Like in my eyes,
Everything's red.
Yeah, dude, everything was on fire for me with my eyes. And so my dad brings me to the bathroom. He's trying to flush my eyes out and things like that. And I'm just like sitting there crying, like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know this has to be my fault. And like weeks before I had walked in on them having sex, and I was like, I'll never see you guys have sex again. And I'm like yelling this in the bathroom. Other parents are coming out like, what the fuck, out of these stalls?
Yes. I'm sure your dad is just like, what the fuck? Josh, shut up.
Yeah, he's just like, dude, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Why'd you have to get the clay in your eyes and not your mouth?
Yeah. So I mean, there's that story that was pretty funny.
Yeah, dude. I don't know,
Dude,
man.
Just almost every hockey, like NHL game I've been to, not ECHL, because I've been to a lot of hockey games in the ECHL for like Orlando Solar Bears.
Yeah, we went to Colorado Eagle games a lot. I've never been to an NHL game either. Now that I think about it,
You've never been to an NHL game?
I've never been to NHL or NFL, but I've been to the like
or an
minor leagues
NFL game. Wow.
Yeah,
See, I can actually say I've been to a football game. Can't tell you the damn team. Don't remember.
Nice.
Yeah,
I need to get on it.
It had to have been Tampa Bay, actually, now that I think about it, the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
Yeah, it had to have been the Buccaneers. So I at almost every NHL game I've been to, most of the time I'm with my uncle, and we get together. We have quite a few. We got about a 2-hour ride there and back.
Mm-hmm.
So we get pretty drunk. We get a little belligerent. We're in a whole other city. We don't give a fuck anymore. And we call Tampa Trampa because like all the people there are just a bunch of tramps. Naturally. And dude, almost every time we go to these games, we get into fights because we never have the Lightning jerseys on. We always come when like the Avalanche come down. Or even if the Blackhawks come down, we'll come and watch them too. Shit, and bro, just like the one time my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, her first NHL game. Game's getting intense, like it's heating up. I'm like, oh shit, like we're getting close to the bottom line. All of a sudden, my wife nudges me. I'm watching the game, paying attention to the puck. My wife nudges me. And she's like, yo, and like she's like, look, and I look over and my uncle and this guy are like fucking tussling with each other hardcore. And I'm like, oh shit. And I like stood up and like I just like threw my elbow in between and like broke them up. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Because I was just watching the game. Like I literally didn't even notice what was going on 2 seats away from me.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious.
And yeah, dude, because it was me, my girl, and then my uncle. So I had no idea what was going on to the right of me. And dude, the guy threw his hat, my uncle's hat, down to the next level because we were like in like almost a nosebleeds area. And thankfully, like one of the workers there, he like looking up the whole time. I looked over and he's like, is this yours? And I was like, yes. And he threw the hat up. So we got the hat back. And one Tampa guy, another Tampa fan, and I kind of feel bad for this now, kind of. Another Tampa fan came up behind and he's like, I'm so sorry that happened. I just want to let you know on behalf of Tampa Bay fans, we're not all like that. And I was like, bullshit. We have a problem every fucking time we come here. Sit your ass down. So,
do you think you had a problem every time you went there because of them or because of you?
No, it's definitely probably us. We're pretty belligerent.
Yeah, I figured.
But also, it's just Florida. It's all of Florida, Tampa, and it happens.
Yeah,
it's meant to
for
be.
Sure, for sure. Man, well, I can go on and on with sports stories. Man, I grew up playing sports and I loved the atmosphere of even just as a kid, like being at those soccer tournaments for the day. Like I know my parents hated it sometimes, but they loved it too. Like spending time with us for the whole day, chilling with other parents and friends, just having a good time. Like I miss that stuff. So I can't wait till I have my own kids and get to do all that stuff again. And I recommend it to anybody out there. Like don't force it on your kids. Like they want to play, great. If not, find fucking something else they want to do. Like, yeah,
worst case scenario, they'll look forward to it when you invite all like their friends over and shit. Yeah. And like you got like a nice spread of snacks and like pizza or barbecue, going. And I mean, those were the good old days. That's exactly. Those are the times I only like Sunday Night Football when like my parents were into it. Not because
you would have loved our Sunday football, man, when we did it. It was like our church going event for us because we're not religious people, but football Sunday for us, man, it was like we'd wake up,
praise the pigskin.
We'd go to the store, we'd get like stuff to make all kinds of crazy, ridiculous snacks that were just super good, and would just have like a feast of football like snacks to start, and then have like a little meal for the in between games, and so we just went all day. Yeah, like dude, it was the best. We had a good time. So I need to get that going again here pretty soon. Now that I got my new grill outside, I can start grilling some food up again.
Hell yeah, man. But we'll have to send each other some recipes.
Yeah, man. I'm so bad. Like I'll follow recipes in the sense of like what I need to put on it, but otherwise I just go. I just do it.
No, never follow those bullshit portions they give you. I don't want a half a teaspoon of this deliciousness.
When I cook, I like creating stuff. I like making stuff that like isn't supposed to be made.
yeah, that's for sure.
That's it is. But weird. Well, I think that was good, man. I think everybody needs to tune in Friday for sure. Hear our episode with Keon to kind of expand a lot of that talk we had with sports and airline flights and have some really fun laughs and hear some funny ass stories, and join our Discord and draw some mashups and send us. I want to see them.
Not just any mashups, mindless mashups.
Yeah. Well, that's a given at this point, but yeah, mindless. Duh. Sorry, I had a mindless moment and forgot to include mindless.
It's okay.
Please forgive me.
Yeah, it's all good.
He's going to make me lick his toes again now. Fuck.
Wait, what? Me?
What? Dude, don't say that. We're still recording.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, and I thought what I've said through this episode was weird. You fucking topped it off.
Thanks for tuning in and stay mindless, everybody.
Stay mindless. Sorry, guys. Thank you for listening to the Mindless Morning Show. We appreciate you picking us out of the many great podcasts out there.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell to get notified whenever we release a new episode or bonus content. Now go enjoy the rest of your mindless day.